Hi, I'm Catherine and I'm a naturopath, and in this video I'm just going to go through how a naturopath can help. So this is an example of an actual person I've treated in the last 12 months and how we move things forward for him. So Rob, who's not his actual name, was in his 60s and he was semi-retired. He presented with constant nausea and bloating and indigestion. He was on an extremely limited diet, which he'd been on for 18 months to try and find which foods were irritating his digestion. He was losing weight and his energy was really low. So in the first appointment, I discovered he had a history of stomach ulcers and bowel disease. He had no appetite. He was only eating one meal and one snack a day. His energy was extremely low and he was passing around 6 bowel motions a day. In that first appointment, I gave him a herbal medicine mix that was tailored specific to him, a homeopathic and one nutritional supplement. So in the second and third appointments, they were both 2 weeks later, slowly we found that his appetite was increasing, he was having less bowel motions, and his energy was improving. So the next 2 appointments, which were both 2 weeks apart, we found that he was, the nausea was slowly subsiding, his appetite was increasing, and he was having less bowel movements. The 4th and 5th appointment, they were also 2 weeks apart. He found that his appetite had increased and he was able to eat more foods. At this point, we started trying to introduce more foods because his diet had been so limited. So we wanted to try and make sure we could get the nutrients into him that he needed. And so at this point, he started to stop losing weight again, and his nausea continued to reduce, and his bowel motions settled down to 2 a day. And 2 additional homeopathics were introduced at this point. Now the next 2 appointments, they were a month apart, so 4 weeks later and then 4 weeks later again. And what we found was that his energy had improved to the point that he could function in life. He was starting to regain some of the weight that he had lost. He was enjoying his food, he had an appetite, which was lovely to see that food was enjoyable again. He had discovered that there was just 2 foods that caused digestive issues for him, and they were easy to avoid. It wasn't a whole big list, it was just those 2. He was actually feeling so good that he went back to his doctor and reduced some of the other medications that he'd been on, and so he still continued to improve even without the medications that he was previously on. The nausea was completely gone. There was still some discomfort in his gut, but he was happy at that point and he felt really good, and life was looking up for him. So if you would like to see a naturopath to help you with your health, let me know and I can help you improve that. Have a lovely day.